Well, I'm Riley Winch here with MOTV Forecast as we continue to track Hurricane Florence as it barrels towards the Carolina coast. Currently, winds are at 130 miles per hour, and this is about 10 miles per hour weaker from what we were seeing this morning as we are undergoing an eye wall replacement cycle, which essentially the current eye wall of the hurricane collapses and you get a new one forming. So while has weakened from what it was earlier, it is expected to regain that strength as we head throughout the day. And we can see that in our projected path. As we can see here, the National Hurricane Center is predicting Florence to get up to a 150 mile per hour Category 4 hurricane as we head into tomorrow morning. Not to say it can't get up to the 157 mile per hour winds that are required for a Category 5 hurricane. So I mean, it's not out of the blue. It won't be out of the blue if we do see a Category 5 sometime tomorrow with this storm. But it is expected to weaken as it heads towards the Carolina coast. We don't want to pay too much attention to the exact wind intensity at landfall, just because it could be stronger. We're not really sure if this weakening will completely take effect with this storm. But notice how the cone bubbles out here towards the end of the week. That could call for some heavy rainfall, flooding, because the storm's going to stall out and stay over the Carolina region, and even the whole mid-Atlantic really has to worry about this flood threat as we head throughout this upcoming weekend. Now let's take a look here at our storm surge alerts. As you can see, a storm surge watch from the southern coast of South Carolina up through northern North Carolina. This is really where the brunt of the storm could make landfall. The storm surge warnings will go in place, I think, within 24 or 48 hours of the storm expected to be making landfall. Now let's take a look at the storm surge forecast with this storm. From Wilmington to Cape Lookout, that looks like where we could have the most storm surge right now. 6 to 12 feet of storm surge is possible, and when you think about that, 12 feet of storm surge can cover some barrier islands there. So that's really a big reason why you want to get out of the coastal regions if you are under a mandatory evacuation. We do have a few of those in effect. You do want to check with your local government on those evacuation orders and go to knowyourzone.org. That will tell you if you are in an evacuation zone or what evacuation zone you are in, and then it's your job to go see if your local authorities have told you that you are under a mandatory evacuation. So definitely go check that one out. But exactly where the storm goes, it will depend on where the highest storm surge will be seen. This is still a work in progress, so if you check within the next couple days here on MOTV Forecast, we'll have the latest on that for you. Now let's head over here to when our tropical storm force winds are expected to arrive on the coast. As you can see, as we head into Thursday morning, that's when the tropical storm force winds could start arriving on the coast. So notice this is not when the center of the storm is expected to make landfall. We already know that to be Friday morning about right now. But the tropical storm force winds with the storm should start arriving on the Carolina coast by Thursday morning. And really, once those tropical storm force winds roll in, that is when you really cannot make any more preparations. That's go time. You have to be out of there already by the time those stronger winds come through. Now let's take a look at our rainfall forecast, because I do want to mention this is going to be an inland threat as well as a coastal threat, because once this storm heads over the Carolinas or somewhere around the mid-Atlantic here, we are going to see it really slow down and pour rain on top of the mid-Atlantic for days and days and days. And that should happen around the time frame of this weekend. But exactly where the heaviest of rain goes, that is all up to where the storm makes landfall and where the center of circulation goes. So there's still a lot of details to be worked out with Hurricane Florence here, and we'll have the latest for you on MOTV Forecast as we head throughout the week. Signing off, it's Riley Winch.